Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 20th to the 26th of February 2017. The Sun has moved into Pisces, so this is the last sign of the zodiac, etheric water. And the feeling with this as we head towards a new moon solar eclipse in Pisces at the weekend is one of delving deeply. Pisces lives every sign of the zodiac and gathers information on its journey around from the spring equinox right the way back to the next spring equinox. So it takes the seed of each sign and creates a rainbow effect, gathering as it goes along. But sometimes we need to be able to release what we have picked up along the way once we've learnt its lesson. So the multi-layered, multi-coloured sign of Pisces requires us to journey through this sign soulfully, to gather pieces of ourselves that we've given away, to create a kind of soul retrieval, to look at where we have made ourselves proud, to look at where we have fallen short, and to be very honest with ourselves, looking back over the whole year. So we begin the week with that soul retrieval, really. Look back to where you've given your power away, to where you've avoided yourself, to where you've had limited negative thinking towards yourself, to where you've reached out to others to try and find something that was already deep within, and see if you can return to wholeness while also rinsing away anything that you have learnt but that you don't need to bring forward. So we have a whole zodiac month to look at the whole picture and then to take what we value, to put ourselves back together, to remember ourselves, but to let go of anything that's of the old self and is going to hold us back. So very soulful, deep, etheric waters here as the Sun moves through the sign of Pisces. But for most of the week we actually have still the electric, the quite mental energy of Mercury in Aquarius, and we also have Venus, Mars and Uranus in Aries. So we're looking at sovereignty. There's a big deal this week, and there has been for the last 4 months and even into next month, about the number 22. We've had a whole string of full moons at 22 degrees, and the next one is at 22 degrees as well. But by the time we get to the weekend, and as we walk through this week, we have Jupiter at 22 degrees Libra. So for anybody that doesn't know numerology, 22 is the master builder. It's double enlightenment, really. If you look at 11 as enlightenment, the 11th sign of the zodiac being Aquarius, which is the star card, the illuminated one. 22 builds on that. So Jupiter opposite Uranus at 22 degrees Libra is asking us to stand in our space, to expand into our sovereignty, to take up the space that we deserve, and to actually acknowledge ourselves and to bring ourselves back to full strength. So although the etheric waters of Pisces can be very soulful, we do all the work on the inner emotional levels, there is a strength here. There's a sense of remembering ourselves and then standing tall and strong in our sovereignty with that Jupiter-Uranus opposition. Mercury asks us to fine-tune our critical faculties, because sometimes we're not actually being ourselves because we've developed a belief and it may not be the truth, but we keep trying to live from that belief. So Mercury going through Aquarius is asking us to challenge our beliefs and to make sure that what we're believing in and acting upon is actually true. So very interesting, quite mental but quite discerning energy there with Mercury in Aquarius, saying we can't really be ourselves unless we really know ourselves, and sometimes we need to fact check ourselves to make sure that we're not being fake news, to make sure that we're actually believing and acting and creating from a place of real self-truth. So Monday and Tuesday, that's a really good time to do that, to look at fact, fiction, to look at the narrative, to look at your belief system and see if you're just believing something because you want to, and whether it's true, whether it's supporting you, whether it's really your thought process, your belief pattern, and whether you're actually creating from that place of authenticity and truth. So Mars approaches Uranus by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and into the eclipse. So Mars is where we take our solar energy and direct it. It's our mastery of our energy, a spiritual warrior. And Uranus is our independent thinker and our rebel and our agent of change. So this is very sparky, this is very sovereign, this is very empowered for us to be able to really take all that we are and refresh ourselves, update ourselves, receive the inspiration that we can act upon, and really get to know our true selves. Because in the age of Aquarius, independent thought is very, very important. We can't follow the group anymore. We can't just sign up to a club that makes us feel comfortable. We have to stand in our uniqueness and acknowledge that. Acknowledge the challenges that we've met so far and acknowledge the new current expression of ourselves. Everyone's here to resonate on their own vibration and to contribute from that place of uniqueness rather than just to the collective field that's around us. So very, very independent, quite challenging but quite freeing, liberating energies there with the Mercury and Uranus combination this week. There's also a sense by Thursday, Friday into the eclipse of sharing. If we are unique, if we've tidied ourselves up, if we're happy to stand in our true unique expression, then where can we actually share that with the group? Where can we actually come together, inform, inspire and elevate each other and be generous in that togetherness, creating a kaleidoscope of information, creativity and supportiveness. So Thursday's a very good day to have a look at your talents, to be grateful for your talents, to embrace them, and then to find others with whom you can share, who inspire you as well as you inspire them, and come together to make something greater. So Uranus does like to say, who are you, and then who are we, and where can we come together with vision, and with generosity, and with freedom, and with excitement, and actually make something as a group. So Thursday, Friday, very good days there for looking at talent, creativity, uniqueness, but then also the generosity and sharing and uplifting through those joint vibrations. So by the time we move into the weekend, we have a new moon at 8 degrees Pisces, and this is a solar eclipse. I believe it's visible in South America and Africa. We never know what's going to be revealed on an eclipse, but this is in the 8th house of deep magic, and the moon is close to Neptune, which is like our tuning fork. It's like our vibrational receptor. It's when we get into a aligned channel so that we can receive the vibrations with pureness and simplicity. We can tune in to actually feel on an emotional intelligence level the natural truth of things. So very interesting, very packed 8th house there with the Sun, Moon and Neptune all in Pisces. So to be still, to be aligned and just to feel into the invisible realms is what's necessary, and not needing any action really. Eclipses aren't a time of action, they're a time of stopping and listening and feeling into the other worlds. But like I say, Jupiter opposite Mars and Uranus at the 22 degree point is calling for strength and sovereignty. It's calling for that soul retrieval. It's calling for us to stand in our own truth and to realise that we are the ones that we've been looking for all along, to get back to that real soul self. So once we reach that place, we can actually rule our world with honour and courage and dignity, and we can shine our light as far as it will go. So a very soulful but very empowering week. If we do the work at the beginning of the week, which is to challenge any false beliefs, to challenge any mental habits that have played their part but can go now, to really get back to that receptive by the weekend so that we can tune in with Neptune and start to feel the reality around us, start to feel the wholeness of ourselves and the completeness of ourselves. It's a very centred and warm and soulful feeling when we can just stop the thinking, stop the action, stop the trying, stop the communicating, and get back into that resonant centre and retune and recalibrate ourselves from there. So I feel that all of these 22s are teaching us to be free, to be big, to be generous, to be magnificent, and to discard anything that's getting in the way of that. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. If you'd like to explore your chart in more detail, because we're all different, we all have different aspects, there's 78,000 things different from one chart to another, then please do come to me for a reading on Skype or in London, and we can have a look at that and see where the energies are around you, tune you into your natal vibrational signature, but also what's coming up and the energies that you can harness in the coming months. If you'd like to study astrology more slowly, I do recommend that people take at least a year to walk around the zodiac. Then I have my online members group where we're discussing different topics as they come up. And I also have a series of online courses where you can work with notes and a video and email access to me, working through a well-structured and well-paced course so that you can begin to learn this for yourself. So for any of that, please do contact me, zoehines7@gmail.com.